Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today we are talking about the latest banner on the Japanese side, which I have to admit is probably, well, it's a really good banner. Let's put it that way. So we're going to talk about all the units, starting off with Kanan, who is our 3 to 5 star base, and to be fair, much like the other 3 to 5 stars, actually probably a little bit worse. I'd say that there's nothing particularly interesting about her kit. Her limit burst is just damage dealing. Everything in her kit, well, she has some chaining abilities, but nothing that looks particularly that great. However, there is one thing interesting about her kit, which is her TMR, which is a 105 attack fire element sword that gives dual wield 4 swords. Now, if you needed a fire-based weapon and you didn't have many units who have dual wield and you wanted maybe a bit of chaining in a 3 to 5 star unit that's easy to get, this isn't bad. But let's be totally honest, outclassed by the current and ever getting worse 7-star meta, and by getting worse I mean that we are getting crowded out very quickly of the 4 to 6 star base. Hopefully there'll be something to improve the 4 to 6 star base, because currently it's just, well, they're quickly getting gone. Next up, we're going to talk about Theobald. Now, Theobald is more interesting. Now, his Trust Mastery I don't think is that interesting, but it depends what whip users we get in the future. So, 62 attack and 125 magic. Well, hold on. There might be someone. Who is that girl again? Ah, yes. CG Fina does get a big magic boost from whips, I do believe. So 125 magic whip does have its place currently. Also, you could, in theory, I believe, give it to our new big 5-star base unit. So, there are some places where this could go. But I have to admit that Theobald is actually a pretty kind of decent 4 to 6 star unit. First of all, his limit burst gives everyone except himself a 200% limit burst fill rate and some crystals as well, 3 to 5 crystals per use. Now, the other nice thing is that you don't need to rank up or level up his limit burst at all, because it's always that. The only thing that leveling it gives you is it makes it more efficient, only costing 15 crystals instead of 20 crystals at a 6-star, but long-time players probably won't find this very useful. But with that being said, this guy's also pretty decent in Arena, because he does have Flood, which he has natural dual cast as well, so you could just give this guy some good magic equipment and use him for flood chaining in Arena. He also has Water Ja and Blizzard Ja, so he's got some elemental stuff. Other than that, he gets magic bonus for equipping a whip, so his own TMR is good for himself, and he has a couple of 7 and 12 hit chaining abilities that he can dual cast by using another ability. First, it gives him 120% magic for 2 turns. So honestly, he's a pretty solid 4 to 6 star kit. He's better than I ever thought he would be. And he's kind of cool. I like his victory animation. I like all of that. Next up is our another fixed 4 to 6 star. I was going to say fixed star, like 4 and 6 combined. Interesting slip of the tongue. Now, Dietlind is, well, her Trust Mastery is very good potentially for any future gun users, or if you have Vincent from last month's Final Fantasy VII event, then her Trust Mastery is pretty damn good. 60% extra attack with gun, no downside. So that's nice. But what about the rest of her kit? Well, honestly, 4 to 6 star, never that impressive, and this is definitely one of those cases. Her limit burst is just straight damage, but interestingly, it does, if you maxed it out for its level, give an 84% defense debuff. Now, that's pretty darn good. An 84 defense debuff. If you didn't have anyone who could defense debuff, she might be just useful in that one spot if you were a physical team. Other than that, she has some OHKO chances on one of her basic abilities, so that's potentially good for Arena. And she has some other debuffing and 12 hit chaining at 7 frames. Not sure who it can chain with, but 7 frames, maybe there are some definite people. I think, I want to say that Sephiroth, but don't quote me on that. Long story short, I think she's a pretty decent 4 to 6 star unit. Which brings us to, of course, the big one, and there he is right on time, CG Siegfried, who is the 5 star of this banner. Now, first of all, let's talk about the big thing, is the fact that there is a step up. So this is a banner review, this is not a CG Siegfried unit review, so I want to just talk about the quality of this banner, and I will do later CG Siegfried's own personal unit review. Now, first of all, this banner I think is actually pretty solid. The 3 to 5 star base has a pretty good TMR in that it grants dual wield for swords, which is pretty common, and recently there's been a lot of sword users popping up. So I think that's fine. But the other thing is that both of the 4 stars are pretty decent. One is a good defense slash debuffer, and the other is a pretty good dual casting mage that also has non-magic dual casting abilities for water and ice. And if you're new and you're making a lot going through the story, well, a problem early on is sometimes you run into those challenges that say, hey, you know, use the water element, which is the Japanese kanji for sui or mizu. And water can be a tough element if you don't get the right pulls, so I gotta say, Theobald is pretty useful for that. But here's the big thing. For any account that doesn't have a 7 star tank, I think this banner is 100% worth going on, because there is no other rainbow on this banner, only CG Siegfried, and the step up always gives a percentage higher rate, and I mean, unless you have a ton of UOCs kicking around and you just want to use them, then I would say this is a great banner for anyone who needs a 7 star tank. And CG Sighart, I guess it's Sighart, I want to call him Siegfried. I'm sure I've said that multiple times, and people have already typed comments saying that I did it wrong. That's okay. Thank you for correcting me. But in all honesty, it's a great banner for a whole bunch of reasons. I think both of the 4 stars are actually really decent, given what we've seen in the past for 4 stars. The step-up banner is the best chance you're going to get at getting multiple Siegfrieds very quickly for only 1100 Lapiz, which isn't as much anymore. But the other big thing currently is the fact that if you're doing any regular ticket pulls, you get anything from a 5% specific trust Moogle up to a 10% trust Moogle for anybody. Now, this is usually the time when I just like to dump all of my 4 star tickets, because 4 star tickets really don't feel like that great of a rate. I don't know, maybe you've had better luck than me, but the number of rainbows I've got off a 4 star guaranteed ticket is pretty darn damn low. But here, it basically means that you can rack up a ton of trust Moogles really fast, get some extra trust masteries, or potentially just be ready to do Sighart's trust mastery if you get him. Hey, or if you don't get him, then you're just going to get a ton of trust mastery Moogles that you can use on somebody else. And trust masteries will help you get through challenges as well as a ton of other stuff. So I gotta say, I really love this banner. This is one of my favorite banners, and if you're like me and you don't really care about Tomb Raider at the end of the month, you got plenty of time still to save for next month's Mog King. So next time we'll be going over CG Sighart. Said it right this time. So I will see you all in the next video, but gotta say, this is a good banner for sure.